Hello, welcome to episode 190 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1,001 movies you must see before you die. The Deer Hunter. Classic film. Spoilers, it is definitely a film you should see before you die. You know, we just end the video here. This is a fantastic film. First time I saw it, I have a an up and down relationship with it, because I bought it on DVD to watch it, and then I just didn't get into it, so I turned it off. And then the next time I tried to watch it, it was late at night, so I went to put the subtitles on, and there were no subtitles on the DVD, so I just left it again. So I just kept feeling like this wasn't a film I was ever going to finish. And then one day I sat down, watched all of it, and thought, what have I been missing all this time? And then I showed it to you. We watched it in the 24-hour movie marathon this year. Fantastic film, a 3-hour epic that follows a group of friends from a small town who work as welders. I think welders, well, they work in this big steel mill, basically. I don't know what their exact job description is. And they get drafted off to go to war in Vietnam. Yeah. So the first hour of the film is kind of their last couple of days at home. There's a wedding that happens and takes place. The second hour of the film is them off in Vietnam and kind of the horrors of war that they go through there. And the third hour is the aftermath, adjusting to life afterwards, based on the very heavy things that happened in the middle of the film. First half of the film, in a lot of ways, does drag. But
first third.
Yeah.
What I half.
First half. Okay, yeah, the first third of the film does drag, but it's very naturalistic. Like you almost feel like you're watching a home movie of someone's wedding.
Yeah, it's very natural.
And you get to just kind of sit with these characters for a long time, and
get to know them. Yeah. Just long enough for you to start caring about them, because how many are there? 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 central characters.
Yeah, and is it 4 or 5?
Roughly. I mean, there's more than that in the film.
But who go on. If you didn't know him, if we just started out in the war part,
right? Yeah,
you wouldn't care as much. But you've been to their wedding and stuff, you know, and
exactly.
And you know how they're like, and you know how good friends they are, and what they're leaving behind and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so once they're there, and it jumps pretty in there, you root for them, you know, and you don't want them to get hurt.
No.
And so you care just enough, and then you care even more because you've been through that traumatizing part of their life with them.
Right. Yeah.
Because that part of the movie is so, like, you get so into it, and you feel like you see some of their souls almost, because their acting is so great.
Yes.
And so you end up caring about them even more. And that's the best part of the whole movie. So uncomfortable, but the best part, and the best acting.
You mean the Russian roulette scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. That scene knocked my socks off when I first saw it, and I was really intrigued when I showed you the film whether that scene would hold up as much and give me that same feeling again, and it did. And I think I read that the actor who was playing the guy in charge of the Russian roulette game wasn't comfortable slapping Robert De Niro in the face, so they got someone who really didn't like Americans to do it. And I think that shows, like, there's a lot of I don't know, realistically charged energy in that scene, you know, where they are getting slapped for real. And I don't know, I guess I could kind of see how they got so into it, to the point where it almost was real, you know.
I would love to slap a celebrity.
Why?
I love Robert De Niro, but just saying, like, I've slapped Robert De Niro,
just for
that
bragging
would be
rights.
so awesome. No, but just having done it too. I'd let him slap me too.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but that reminds me of that scene in Extras with Ben Stiller, where he's like, I've kissed Jennifer Aniston, tapped Cameron Diaz on the butt, you know, just like...
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
slap Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that would be
bragging rights.
No one would freaking believe you. But even just having him slap me back too, and be like, and then have like a double espresso, and it's all good.
Okay, so that was just... Okay, right, so talking about this very serious...
No,
it's fine.
I would slap him for free, and they probably paid that guy a lot of money.
Right.
But then again, I say that now, but being there, I'd probably be like, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And then I'd just slap him.
So the Deer Hunter.
We made a really serious scene,
right?
You know.
Great performances. That's the main thing. But it's also shot like tremendously. Like it's such a well-made film. I love some of the scenes where they go up into the mountains to hunt deer, which isn't really that big a part of a film. They talk about hunting a bit more, but I mean those scenes are quite short, but they're just stunning views of these mountains and stuff. And
yeah, it's really nice.
and it's kind of the ritual of these friends is to go out and hunt deer and stuff.
And it's such a big contrast too, because you're so free up in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a great point.
And then you have like how trapped they are in the middle of it.
Exactly.
You have
Great
freedom,
point, yeah.
and then you have trapped, and then you have freedom, but you have a different view of it.
Never thought about it like that. And
Me neither. I just thought about it.
we're both a bit uncomfortable with some of the scenes where you see a deer get shot. But I've since read that they actually gave the deer something to kind of knock them out, I guess. So they weren't killed or anything, but they might have been uncomfortable when they were like stumbling all over the place. But I like that they didn't actually shoot the deer on film, because that just seems unnecessary.
Movie. You would think they.
You would think, yeah, you would think that they would just shoot it. So it was quite interesting to read that they did that. John Cazale is great in the film, and he's an actor who had such an interesting career where he, I think, only appeared in 5 films. I think all of them either won Best Picture or was nominated for Best Picture.
Which one was he again?
He was the guy with the dark hair. And he looked quite gaunt because at the time he was very ill, and in fact he was dying, and he really wanted to make the film, and they kind of pushed his scenes to the front of the filming schedule, and he passed away before the film even came out. So you're literally seeing this guy giving his last performance. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
It's kind of like the Joker in Batman.
Right, Meryl Streep. We were joking when we watched the film, like, oh, the way she looked at that ceiling, Oscar worthy.
It's almost like there was something there. You know?
But she is great though. She really is. And,
yeah, she's good. She's really good at having her eyes go really pink when she cries.
Okay, I didn't notice that detail.
No, but she does that in that other movie with a kid.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, yeah.
And I just noticed, like, the way she holds back, like she's gonna cry, but she doesn't want to cry, and she's holding it back. But then I see that she does it a lot, so it got old in the movie.
And then the central characters are played by Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, and John Savage, who doesn't really, I think, get the credit he deserves, because you have Robert De Niro, you have Christopher Walken, who, had huge careers.
It was just so good.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's the best I've seen Robert De Niro. Like, he was so great. He's such an amazing actor.
He is.
Which is why I would slap him.
and we'll get to that, but John Savage, I thought, gave a fantastic performance as well. And the fact that he didn't go on to have as big of a career as those two guys, I think, kind of, I don't know, I don't think he gets as enough recognition, because he's great in the film as well. Anyway.
There was a part in it with him that I was thinking, because he said before the movie that there's a scene in here that is so natural, and there was the scene that he did, and I was like thinking, oh, maybe this is it, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
that just says like how good it was. He's pretty good.
I think that Robert De Niro said the scene that he did with that actor was one of the most intense things he's done as an actor, or something like that. Anyway, but Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken, I think, do steal the show. They are the two kind of most important characters to the story in a very powerful way. And like you say, Robert De Niro just disappears into it in this role.
He's so great.
And with De Niro, he has so many great performances and stuff. And you have stuff like Raging Bull, but I think that this performance is a bit more understated and impressive, where you just totally believe this character who. It was really only when you started bigging it up so much that I started thinking about how good he is in this film. And
so great. Like I'm thinking about it now, and I want to watch it again just to see him act, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine his performance in this movie must inspire a lot of actors out there. Like you can act, but the way he acts is so natural that it's almost like it's not acting in a way. He's just so.
Yeah.
He's not overdoing it, It's just the right amount.
Yeah, and Christopher Walken is phenomenal in the film. Again, I'm used to seeing him in more recent films, so he looks so young in this. Whereas De Niro kind of always seems, well, I guess he's older now, but for many years De Niro looked pretty similar. Whereas Christopher Walken looks very fresh-faced in this one.
Christopher Walken before he's Christopher Walken.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have.
He's not himself yet.
He is, but he's not full on kind of.
He's got the expressions in the face,
right?
But he's not doing the Christopher Walken talk.
Right. Yeah. A little bit.
It's like he's not doing the pauses. Maybe his mind is fresher and he doesn't need to pause to remember his lines. Is that why he does it?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I hope not.
That's like his trademark now. Any movie you see, even The Jungle Book, when he's playing a monkey, you can tell it's him.
Yeah.
But in this one, I felt it was more relaxing to watch him because it wasn't Christopher Walken, it was a character, you know? It was the guy who was acting.
Yeah.
Which I really, really liked. He was good. But De Niro...
Bottom line, I think this is one of the best war films ever made because I'm always more interested in war films that either kind of sidestep war and they don't really show the battle stuff, or they show you give you more context for the characters. You know, again, it's one thing to see the horrors of war with someone going through it, but it's another thing to see it with characters that you've learned to enjoy spending time with before you get to that point, and then after that point, it deals with the before, the during, and the after, and it's really good in all three of those parts. And yeah, it's a film you should see before you die. Absolutely,
no doubt at all.
Yeah, it's one of those surefire yeses.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't so long because I want to show it to so many people, but I don't think they could sit through it.
Yeah, it can be a hard sell when you say it's a 3-hour movie, but I don't feel like it's over long. I think that it's necessary to take that time to tell a story. And yeah, some films are 3 hours long. They may be a bit overstuffed or padded, but this one, it just it elongated, but like helped the whole story, I think.
No, I gotta say, I hate war movies. I absolutely freaking hate them. There's so many out there that have gotten really great reviews and stuff, and I just can't make myself watch it because I've always hated them. And even though I can okay, I'm sure it's a good movie, it's well made and stuff, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But this one, I loved.
Yeah.
So I feel like that says a lot in a way.
And the war stuff is very contained as well. It's not like this big scale battle warfare or anything.
Maybe
but
that's one of the reasons. It was so much more intimate and personal.
Yes, it was, yeah. But nonetheless horrifying and, makes you just... it really makes you feel grateful that you weren't in an era where people get drafted, where people were literally thrown into that with no say on the matter. They just had to do that. And yeah, anyway, so enough waffling about The Deer Hunter. Great film. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.